So it's a pretty rough go when you're used to being a regular kid and athlete. And your hair's falling out, and it wasn't hip to be bald back then. It wasn't like the Michael Jordan kind of pioneered that for everybody that like, hey, you can be bald now and it's cool. It was it was more big hair '80s, so I had to have the wig, and it was a whole. I mean, it really played a deep role, I think, in kind of forming who I am, why I like to give back to charity, why I like to help other cancer fighters. Because while I had great doctors, I had great family and friends and support there. I certainly and there were social workers who were trained in some of the emotions you might be going through and having this, but they weren't a 14-year-old boy. They weren't somebody that had been through this and looked it in the eye, same treatment protocol, and beaten it. And that's kind of what we're doing here. So as this has evolved, it really was like, a fireworks, wow, aha moment for me to say, yes, this is great. Anything I can do to get it bigger would be worthwhile. So we can scale it, in ways that research, you can't really scale that much. I mean, research is keep pouring dollars and keep funding studies, and over maybe our lifetime, maybe the next generation, there may be cures to some of these things. And so that's the other piece that we really emphasize is to people is, we have immediate impact. I mean, if somebody gives us $1,000, our targeted cost per match is $350 a match. So if we raise $1,000 from a donor, that provides enough for us to do 3 matches, and that can start happening almost immediately. Because I mean, our database is now so deep with 400 plus cancers and subtypes that we can match race, religion, sexual orientation. I mean, we're not constrained by any privacy laws. It's all self-disclosed info that people provide to us. So we can give you a really particular match. If you're a really devout particular faith, and maybe that only allows for certain types of treatment, we can work with that and give you somebody that's in that same bucket and is beating your disease, so that everything as close as possible is kind of a clone of yourself going through it. Geography, therefore, is nice, but is not the top criteria. We feel like people can talk on the phone, Skype, FaceTime, all these other resources that you and I talked about in your industry, all this technology, that's almost more important. And sometimes a fighter is a little weak, doesn't feel that able to travel, and so, we don't want to force it to be an in-person meeting, which, interestingly enough, the institutions that do versions of this kind of service, so there's some of the, like MD Anderson, Sloan Kettering, they have versions of what we do, but only for their own patient base. They feel like it's much more important to be in person and you're both at the same facility, and we kind of feel like that's probably not the most key factor. That's our feeling. Like, much more important you get the same cancer type, same age, same set of characteristics, same values as to what the most important thing in the fight is, and so forth. So we now are getting referrals from all those top institutions much more often than the occasional case that we need to refer out to another organization. My main goal is to get them on a trajectory towards that 10,000 matches and $3 million. And if I feel successful in that, and that I've got them on the track, then I may feel like my main value add may be complete. But I may also feel like this is fun. Now we're cooking. Let's stay with it and become the next big national charity. 'Cause right